们也是有去 wedding fair， 价格都差不多有5位数吧。
但是我们就看到有一些马来西亚、台湾、印尼的摄影师，他们的价格都大概4位数这样子。
从来没有听说过了，国外的摄影师不能来新加坡拍摄。
I've always told my couples, are you willing to pay additional $1,000 lesser and you risk not having a photographer? And the sad part is that most couples will say yes.
最近在社交媒体上经常会刷到这种寻找摄影师的贴文，有的是新加坡陪拍、婚礼注册、ROM 跟拍，还有婚礼当天的拍摄。但新加坡人力部最近就提醒公众不允许这些持有旅游签证或学生签证的外国人在这里做婚纱摄影、摄像、化妆等等的自由职业服务，本地的公司也不能聘请这些人。那这个消息传开之后首先受到影响的就是正在筹备婚礼的新人。
我们是大概1年前开始找摄影师，对。
我们也是有去 wedding fair， 我们看的时候价格都差不多有5位数吧。
但是我们就看到有一些马来西亚、台湾、印尼的摄影师，他们的价格都大概4位数这样子。他们的价钱大概有50%的不同。
当我们看到他们在 wedding fair 的时候，我们也是没有想太多了。如果他们可以在 wedding fair 有一个 booth， 那应该是蛮震惊的啦。对，
就是那个报告出来1-2天，他们就打电话给我们，很抱歉，那个 deposit 要退还，也不可能下来新加坡了，所以我们的摄影师也不敢来到新加坡，怕会被抓还是什么。
距离婚礼不到2个月的时候，
对。
很紧张，就是你的婚礼最重要的东西都在内，都在package 在内。
我们只是觉得这个法律好像没有很多人知道，从来没有听说过了，国外的摄影师不能来新加坡拍摄，就希望那个法律可以更明显一些了。
在新加坡注册的婚庆摄影公司至少有80多家。我搜索这些婚庆摄影的价格，会发现他们之间的差别还是蛮大的。10个小时的跟拍，有的要价1800块钱，而有的就要价4000块钱。但我在小红书上面搜索新加坡婚礼约拍就会发现很多价格更低的选择，有些甚至在1000块到1500块左右这样的价格看起来就非常的可疑了。如果我不去仔细询问的话，我是很难去分辨他们到底是不是新加坡本地的合法摄影师。我也暗访了一位没有新加坡工作执照的外籍摄影师，而他告诉我，他已经不敢在新加坡接单了。
因为新加坡我们还不懂那个状况到底是怎么样。现在其实一路以来是不可以的，只是没有抓到这样严，所以就比较 OK。我也有在想这办法，看可不可以拿到新加坡的work permit还是什么之类的。我还是劝你不要找马来西亚的 freelance 或者是中国的那种什么陪拍、约拍那些之类的，因为他们拿着读书证的也是很危险。
从2021年到2024年，平均每年有420多名雇主因为非法雇佣外国人被人力部传讯，其中有200多名被起诉或罚款。但业内人士告诉我，真正的数字恐怕远远不止这些。
I would take it that these are reported cases. And there could be many out there that are not yet reported. Could be because there's misinformation about whether they are legal or illegal. And hence, the reason for us to go out with that advisory to remind people that this is not a new law. Not only it is illegal by the law, but there is also credibility and reliability issues. The person can take and after that they may not appear. Given that they are on a short-term pass, they may go back to their own country, and what happens is that they may not produce the work, which actually consumers will get affected.
那这些外籍摄影师跑路之后很多本地的摄影师就来告诉我，他们收到了更多的婚礼咨询。
After the MOM advisory law has started and kicked in maybe roughly a few weeks ago, we received a lot of enquiries, more than 10 to 20 actually in the recent weeks. But currently we are actually also fully booked, so we have also been rejecting. I've always told my couples, are you willing to pay additional $1,000 lesser and you risk not having a photographer? And the sad part is that most couples will say yes. You look at the Instagram bio, a lot of times they say based in Singapore, but that doesn't mean that they are Singaporean. So it is your duty to ask.
无证外籍摄影师到新加坡来找工作，已经是多年以来都存在的现象。如今人力部发出这个公告到底能够解决多少的问题呢？
当然是希望政府会有更清楚的 guidelines。如果我们可以在政府的一个 website 来 search 这个摄影师的 permit 或他的公司的名字或之类，说哦他是 licensed 的，而且我们还可以查，那当然是最好了。
So there's 3 different problems. First problem is a Singaporean company hiring foreigners. Second issue is the foreigners coming and flying over to Singapore. This, as a couple, you need to do your due diligence. You need to ask, are you a foreigner? Third one are foreigners on student visas because they're allowed to stay here. So this is something that you will never be able to check.
We do have an NTUC directory that provides a list of credible freelancers that our consumers could engage. So individuals also need to play their role in ensuring that they actually hire someone that is legal, because there is so many of these freelancers out there across the island. It is actually impossible for you to catch, particularly in a wedding. It is not possible for them to stand outside the wedding to actually catch because it may be a bit sensitive and inappropriate to do so. So hence on the onset, it is also a responsibility for the consumers, bridal studios and whoever is engaging to do the right thing.